It's funny, but there's this ridiculous pecking order in the class. It's like everyone's trying to prove themselves or be at the top of the heap. But who even cares about all that hierarchy stuff in college? We are here to learn and explore, not compete like it's some kind of race. Sometimes it feels like we are all just caught up in this rat race of grades and status. Personally, I'd rather focus on enjoying the learning process and discovering new things. Why stress about climbing some imaginary ladder when we are all just trying to figure things out? At the end of the day, we are all in this together, navigating through the ups and downs of university life. So why not support each other instead of trying to outshine one another? Honestly, I wish people would just chill and enjoy the journey a bit more. Have you ever thought about how important it is to strike a balance between work and leisure for our health? I mean, we are all snowed under with our jobs or studies, but taking time for ourselves is crucial. It's easy to forget to take breaks when deadlines are looming, but burning out isn't good for anyone's health. I've found that scheduling downtime helps me stay focused and productive when I am working. Plus, it's important to have hobbies or activities outside of work or school to keep things balanced. For me, going for a run or practicing yoga really helps clear my mind and recharge. What do you like to do in your free time to unwind? Finding that balance can be tricky, but it's so worth it for our mental and physical well-being. I think society sometimes glorifies constant busyness, but downtime is just as important. Ultimately, taking care of ourselves means finding that sweet spot between work and play. You won't believe it, but he came over to my place out of the blue. I was just chilling at home, when there was a knock on the door, and there he was. I was completely caught off guard, like, what are you doing here? Turns out he had something important to tell me, and he couldn't wait. We sat down, and he dropped the bombshell, he's quitting his job and moving to another city. I was gobsmacked. Didn't see that coming at all. We spent the whole evening talking about his plans and reminiscing about the good times. It was a whirlwind of emotions, but I'm glad he came over. Sometimes life throws you these unexpected curveballs, right? I'll definitely miss him, but I need to get over it and move on. Hey, I just wanted to say thanks again for sticking your neck out to help me with that crazy project deadline. I heard that you had a project that you had to get done by yesterday. I know it must have been a lot of extra work for you, and I appreciate your effort. It meant a lot to me knowing I had someone willing to step up when things got tough. By the way, how's everything going with your own workload? I hope you're not feeling too swamped with everything on your plate. Let me know if there's anything I can do to support you in return. We should definitely grab a coffee sometime soon and catch up properly. It's been too long since we've had a chance to chat. Thanks again for having my back, though. You're a lifesaver.
I was absolutely gutted when I heard that he got married. Deep down, I've always loved him, but I never confessed my feelings. We shared countless moments together, like laughs, deep conversations, and adventures. Those made me cherish him even more. When I heard about his marriage, it hit me hard that he had moved on without knowing how I truly felt. I congratulated him with a heavy heart, hiding my own emotions behind genuine well wishes. It's tough knowing I missed my chance, but I've come to accept that life doesn't always align with our hopes. Now, I cherish our memories and silently carry my unspoken love for him. He deserves every happiness in his new chapter, even if it's not with me. I'll keep rooting for him from afar.
You know, I don't like confrontation, and I'd say I'm not a drama person. So, it has to be a big deal when I argue. Because I don't know how to deal with it, I tend to avoid quarrels. But my partner is the complete opposite of me. He splits hairs over everything I do. Like, I was hanging the laundry on the balcony the other day. And he was like, "That's not the way." I ran out of patience and yelled at him. "How dare you, you've never done it yourself." Since that day, he's been in charge of doing laundry. Can you believe the price of avos at the market today? $10 each. It is daylight robbery. I just wanted to make some smashed avo on toast for brekkie, and now it's like a luxury. And don't get me started on parking fees in the CBD, $20 an hour is just criminal. It's cheaper to pay a fine sometimes. My sister reckons it's cheaper up in Brisbane. I might have to pop up there for my shopping. Every time I go out, it seems like prices have jumped again. It's tough when you're trying to budget, but everything's going through the roof. Guess I'll be sticking to the veggie garden this summer. Can't beat free, right? Can you believe the price of avos at the market today? $10 each. It is daylight robbery.
Working in this new startup has been quite an eye-opener for me. I'm actually privy to all the important information, which honestly, feels a bit overwhelming sometimes. Everyone's super open here, constantly sharing updates. It's like, one minute I'm coding, next I'm in a meeting where they're discussing financial strategies. It's heaps different from my last job where everything was so compartmentalized. There, you only knew what you needed to know, nothing more. Here, it's all about transparency, which is great but also, a lot to keep up with. I think it's going to take a bit to get used to knowing so much about the inner workings. But I'm not complaining, it's pretty awesome to feel this involved. It really makes you feel like you're part of something bigger.
I've discerned something intriguing as I've gotten older. It's like, as you get older, you become more placid. I used to be so caught up in every little thing, but now I find myself taking things in stride. Life's too short to sweat the small stuff, right? I think experience teaches you to prioritize what truly matters. During youth, every circumstance can seem urgent and paramount, but maturity fosters the ability to relinquish unnecessary anxieties. It's not that you stop caring, but you start choosing your battles wisely. I find myself appreciating the simple joys more like a quiet evening. Maybe it's wisdom that comes with age, or it's just realizing that happiness doesn't have to be complicated. As you get older, you become more comfortable in your own skin, and that's a pretty liberating feeling.
So there's this guy Jeff, right? A real smooth talker, always seemed a bit too clever for his own good. He landed a job at a finance company and figured he'd found an easy way to make some extra dough. Jeff started fiddling with the accounts, just small tweaks at first, to skim some cash off the top. He kept it quiet for a while, buying flashy cars and all that. But then the company kicked off an internal audit, and the auditors were on the ball. They picked up on Jeff's tricks pretty fast. Faced with getting caught, Jeff decided to cop a plea. He offered to help unravel his mess in exchange for leniency. Now, they're dealing with the consequences, but one thing's for sure, Jeff's in deep water.
If you want to live a long and healthy life, here are the tips you should know. First up, prioritize a nutrient-rich diet focused on whole grains, and cut back on junk food. Engage in some regular exercise, nothing too fancy, just keep active most days. Try not to smoke, and go easy on the booze, no need to overdo it. When life gets hectic, take a breather with some chill-out time, or a bit of yoga. And speaking of sleep, aim for a solid 7 to 9 hours a night, which is essential for cognitive function and physical recovery. Don't be a stranger, stay connected with your mates and family. And keep an eye on your health with regular checkups and screenings. Keep your brain buzzing with new stuff like reading a book or picking up a new hobby. So, chuck these tips into your daily routine, and you'll be on your way to a ripper of a long and healthy life.
If you're eager to master a new language, here's some insight on effectively navigating this endeavor. It's all about creating a mini immersion environment. Tune into TV shows, listen to music, and follow YouTube channels in your target language. And memorizing English phrases can be an efficient method for learning a new language. Reading is another great way to soak it up. Start with simpler books or even children's literature and work your way up. Consistency is king when it comes to language learning because regular practice helps reinforce retention. Don't stress about mistakes. They're just stepping stones. Language learning is a journey, not a sprint, so enjoy discovering all those new words and phrases. Keep at it, and you'll be chatting away in no time.
Have you noticed how house prices in Australia are going through the roof lately? Just the other day, I was chatting with a mate who's in real estate, and he told me it's been a real seller's market. Houses that were kinda affordable a couple of years ago are now fetching insane prices. It's not just the cities either, but even regional areas are seeing a spike. It's a mix of low interest rates, fewer houses on the market, and a lot more people wanting to buy. This means if you've got a property to sell, you're sitting pretty, but for buyers, not so much. I heard from another friend trying to buy her first home, and she's having to look way out in the burbs just to find something within her budget. And then there's the whole deal with foreign investment driving prices up even more. Plus, construction costs have gone up, so even new builds aren't cheap anymore. Honestly, it's getting tough for regular folks to get on the property ladder here.
このチャンネルでは毎日夜7時にあなたの英語力を爆発的に伸ばす動画を配信しています。英語力を伸ばしたい、英語学習を習慣化したい、そんな方たちは LINE で友達追加をしてください。新着情報を随時お知らせします。皆さん、今日もお疲れ様でした。